Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Rodney, and I'm back, and I just wanted to come in and run my mouth and talk about the girls. Oh, the girls who run the world. The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City does something to my spirit. I was telling the cousins earlier, I went live earlier. Oh, for those who don't know, I'm at BravoCon. Okay. We already told the story, but I'm here. I'm queer. And yeah, I made it to BravoCon. And I don't think I know for a fact, I have not went up for a franchise the way that I go up for Salt Lake City since the days of Real Housewives of Atlanta. People know, well, if you watch my channel, if you watch my videos about Atlanta, you know that Atlanta has always been top tier. I used to sound like Nene, like, girl, I would not, like, I was not, girl, I come down here and, girl, we tug on Portia's wig and Phaedra's and all the girls, but I'm not going to let my girls go. You know what I'm saying? Like, girl, I'm not letting, I was holding on to Atlanta. Like, I was not going, that was my baby. That was my baby. Now it's like, girl, but I never thought that a group. Can we just have some kitchen table talk? I never really thought I would go up for a group of predominantly white women the way that I go up for this franchise. The casting on this franchise is like chef's kiss. The thing about Salt Lake City that's so great, and I've said this before, is that with this cast, even though they have a friendship, and even though some are closer to others, some to others, like Mary and Angie, I believe that they're also not that close to the point where we won't tug on each other's wig. Like the way they will flip on each other, not in a bad way. Not like, oh, you can't trust these hoes. Not like in a bad way, but like anybody can get their wig tugged on. And like the wig tugging is done with love sometimes. They don't get down in the gutter, no shade. I don't want to bring them up, but like the Real Housewives of Potomac and the stunts they pulled on Potomac. Hey, Giselle. The stunts they pulled on Atlanta. You saw, like, it doesn't get that nasty with them. But once they got something to hold on to, they gonna put their veins in. Like now, Meredith. Now Meredith is on the chopping block. You know what I'm saying? But it's based off of something that happened. It's like when they see something when something happens, there we go. That's it. Girl, Meredith, girl, it's your go round. Does that make sense what I'm saying? But they're not over there just making up lies that could really ruin someone's reputation or change someone's reality. You know? So, anyways, let's just talk. I know I'm late with this review, but again, I've been trying to get myself together for the last few days for BravoCon and all types of mess. Okay, so they're doing morning yoga. We'll start out with that, and then we'll just kind of just freestyle it. But I did watch it again and take notes. I watched it twice. They're doing morning yoga with Captain Jason. And, Heather is making these innuendos, I don't know if her and Jason had sex or not. I actually believe Heather something happened because when she was drunk. I don't think Heather would lie. I know I heard that Captain Jason said something like something never happened. I don't know if he, but like I said, somebody said that they felt like he may have been saying that because he didn't really want to put their business out there, and he may not have known that Heather had said what she said. But Heather had already said on the show, what, last week or the week before last, that her and Jason fooled around. Girl, we grown. If you say that you and another person fooled around, something happened. Even if it wasn't necessarily penetration, something sexual happened. Okay? So anyways, so they're doing yoga. And Britt, y'all, listen. I feel like a lot of us believe that multiple truths can exist at the same time. And I feel like in this episode, there were multiple things that I feel like were the truth that were happening at the same time. The first thing that I felt like was happening was Miss Brittany. The way that Brittany was acting like a rich white woman this episode. The way that Brittany is playing Delulu, there is no way that Brittany has convinced herself that her bringing up that Meredith's husband has a mistress at a table full of women on a television show. And let's also not forget that Meredith don't even fuck with you. She believes that this is starting to feel like a pile on because she does the exact same thing as everyone else. She also said that she thought that she was being nice with good intentions. Brittany, Meredith does not like you. So why would you think that you bringing up her husband having a mistress on a television show, girl, at a table in front of a group of friends, that was you being nice with good intentions? Let me say something. I know that Lisa and Meredith have had a back and forth. However, we all know, like a lot of relationships, even though it may not be healthy, we all know that people tend to forgive people more when there has been some investment put into the relationship. Meredith and Lisa have been knowing each other for a minute now, from what I understand. So yeah, even though we might side eye how they might forgive each other, or Meredith might let something slide, or Lisa might let something slide, or whatever, it's due to the quantity of their relationship, not necessarily the quality, some people could argue, but it's due to the number of years they've put into their relationship. Meredith just met Brittany, and she don't like Brittany. So anything Brittany got to say to Meredith, it's not gonna fly. And I don't have to invest nothing in her because I don't like the bitch anyways. That's what Meredith is probably thinking. You see what I'm saying? I put Meredith has a nice body. Meredith knows she has a nice body. Meredith was walking around with a two-piece bathing suit on. I said, I know that's right. So her and Bronwyn. Bronwyn goes to Meredith's room, and her and Bronwyn basically get Brittany's unicorn. Jared made a unicorn for Brittany with his voice, like whatever. Good morning, love, I don't know what he said. Like a Build-A-Bear. Do Build-A-Bears talk? Anyways, there's a unicorn, and he put his voice in the unicorn. It's better. Anyways, so they throw it in the ocean. Okay, girl. They throw it in the ocean. All right. So they all get together for breakfast. They're basically leaving in a couple of hours. So they have breakfast before they leave. Girl, as soon as I saw that seating arrangement, I said, girl, this is messy. Girl, this is messy. This is messy. This is messy. They know that this is messy. Girl, why they put Meredith and Brittany right beside each other? So Meredith, she starts. But she doesn't want to address Brittany. She basically said, girl, my focus is on that bitch, Whitney. She is pissed off at Whitney because she feels if Whitney is supposed to be a friend to her, then how you letting this bitch come up into this group telling you some shit that you should have been telling me? Which makes sense, right? Whitney says that, whoa. I actually told her when she told me that either she needs to tell you, and if she doesn't tell you, then I'm going to tell you. Which is fair. I can't help what she told me. But when she told me, I told her that either you going to tell Meredith what you just told me, or either I'm going to tell her that what you told me. I think that's fair. So Meredith is talking and Brittany is trying to get in the conversation, right? Brittany is like, well, no, it's not fair. Whitney didn't do anything. And Meredith's like, girl, shut up. She basically, that's what she was on with Brittany. Girl, shut up. I'm not talking to you. Don't say nothing to me. Don't talk to me. So she turns around and she puts her back to Brittany. Again, they're sitting right beside each other. So she turns her back this way. And, well, clearly, if it's her back, it's to Brittany. So she turns back to Brittany, and she's doing this with her hair, okay? She's doing that with her hair. So at one point, Brittany started talking, and Brittany started mocking Meredith, because Meredith did do it to Brittany first. And so Brittany slung her hair, and her hair hit Brittany. Brittany slung her hair and her hair hit Meredith. So Meredith, of course, Meredith goes to 0 to 100 real quick with Brittany. So she's like, don't you touch me. And so, girl, Meredith going off. So then Whitney says, let me just change seats with you, which it should have been like that from the get-go. So Meredith and Brittany, they changed seats. Meredith told them that if they want to support Brittany, that she'll be done with all of them. Heather is like, that's not fair. That's not right. We're not saying what she said, what she did was right. That's not right. That's not fair. Bitch. So Bronwyn says, Mary, you're a woman of God. Say something. Bitch. Let me tell you something. Mary was sitting there with her sunglasses on. Mary was sitting there with her sunglasses on. And Bronwyn was sitting right beside Mary. She said, Mary, you're a woman of God. Say something. Mary did just like this. Mary said in her confessional, girl, me saying something ain't gonna do no good. Girl, they're not gonna listen to me, they're not gonna listen to God. Okay? Anyways, girl, they leave and they leave a tip. So, I didn't know this because I've never been on a yacht or a boat. So I learned all of this. I used to watch Below Deck, believe it or not. So some of you, of course, may know this. But girl, whenever you do the yachts, they leave a big tip at the end for the crew. So they gave them a package. So I was wondering, girl, Below Deck is going to do their point of view. So when Below Deck comes back on, they're going to have 3 episodes with their point of view when they hosted the Housewives. So we'll find out how much the tip was. Now the envelope was kind of fat. It looked fat to me, but I was like, I wonder how much they left. I hope they did. I hope they did them right. One, girl, you're supposed to do them right, and then two, girl, it would just be a good look to see the Real Housewives, who the girls are supposed to be the girls of the girls of the girls with the coin, leave a cute tip. Anyways, and they did put on the whole time they were there. I mean, we know it's a show, so we know they're gonna cut up, but still. So they're about to leave, and one of the girls on the boat was like, "Oh my God, I forgot something." Girl, so she runs inside, and then she gets the unicorn. Girl, so they basically went out in the ocean and fetched the unicorn from the water. It was soaking wet. So Brittany was like, "I was looking for that." And she was like, "Wait, why is it so wet?" Yeah, bitch. So she was asking people, "Did you throw this in the water? Did you? Did you? Did you?" And then she got to Meredith. She got to Meredith and Bronwyn, and Meredith was sitting there with her shades on. And then Bronwyn said it was a joke. It was supposed to be a joke. It was supposed to make you laugh. Bitch, let me tell you something. Bitch, the way I would have got that motherfucking unicorn and slapped the shit out them hoes. Girl, on some real shit. How do you think you throwing somebody's belongings, whether you think it's dumb, stupid, or whatever, girl, throwing it in the ocean, girl, how do you think that is a joke? Whether you think the unicorn is asinine, it does not matter. Girl, it's still her shit. If I throw your shit in the ocean and say it's a joke, then would you laugh? Because it's not a joke if I'm not laughing. If I'm not laughing, then it's not a joke. And I'm not laughing. Girl, Meredith and Bronwyn would have got, Meredith and Bronwyn would have got cursed out. So, baby, I wasn't there, so I don't know. But this is where things start to get a little tricky, a little sticky. Bronwyn didn't fly back with him. She had a different flight. Basically, she had a different flight, so she didn't fly back with him. So everybody was on the plane except for Bronwyn. Everybody outside of Lisa and Meredith had somewhat of the same story. And when I say everyone outside of Lisa and Meredith, I'm talking about Heather, Whitney, Angie, Brittany, and Mary. Out of everybody on The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, I believe that Mary is the most honest. That's one thing I have noticed about Mary since season 1. Mary does not give me she's a lie. Now, I know the girls say she down to the church. Girl, gooping the girls and boys out of their coin. I don't know. Girl, she ain't got shit for me, so I don't know what's going down to that church house. But on the show, Mary has always given me that she is the most honest, especially amongst this group of women. So when Mary said that something happened, I was like, oh. Heather, that's my girl now. At one point I was done with Heather, but she, I got a back and forth with Heather. Heather, that's a messy bitch. And, you know, sometimes she might put a little sauce on it. I don't be knowing. Whitney, we know she messy. Brittany, she's a sensitive, rich white woman, girl. Angie, I was like, okay, I don't know. But Mary was the one who kind of sealed the deal. Baby, they said that Meredith acted a motherfucking fool on that plane. Girl, they say Meredith acted a goddamn donkey. And they say Lisa was right there being her cheerleader. I said, baby. Lisa said she ain't said shit. That one thing I live for Miss Meredith. I'm going to tell you why I live for Miss Meredith. Miss Meredith said, bitch, Miss Meredith said, bitch, no face, no case. Did you see me act a fool on camera? What did Nene tell Portia at the reunion? when Portia tried to say that Nene had hit Kim or something, did it happen on camera? Okay, what she told Portia? Girl, and that's what when I say Meredith is standing on big business, girl, Meredith basically told everybody, girl, if I would have acted a fool, girl, I would have been escorted by, what she said, a police marshal. What are they called? An air marshal? The police, girl. The police would have been here. Girl, I would have been in handcuffs. Girl, I ain't did nothing. I don't know what y'all talking about. When I tell you I don't know what is going on down to the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, I don't know if Meredith Marks is a big cat. Big cat is Kathy Hilton. Okay? For the most part, we always see footage, and we're going to get to that in a little bit, okay? I don't know if Meredith Marks is a big cat, and she let it be known, bitch, I wish I would put that footage out there. Now, this is the thing, right? We are talking about the Real Housewives. We have seen the girls get caught up on every franchise because they think that no one is recording. They think, girl, there won't be any audio. And then they look up, and then we hear Portia telling the girls, one of you bitches gonna eat me out tonight. They thought they covered up all the cameras, but they forgot that it was cameras outside looking inside. You know what I'm saying? We've seen it happen all the time. I remember the cameras were down in the van, and when Robin and Candace got into it, Miss Ashley Darby got her cellular device and then put it on her lap and recorded the conversation and then gave it to the producers, and the producers put it in the show. Y'all see where I'm going with this? It is hard for me to believe, with everything I just said, that Meredith acted the way that she acted. Like Bronwyn said, if I was on that flight and she was cutting up the way she was cutting up, baby, I would have got it on camera. You mean to tell me this flight is full of people? There has to be at least one or two Bravo fans on that plane. First class is not a big section. Girl, what, 16 people? 10, depending on what plane you on, probably. So even if you're not in first class, if Meredith was acting the way that she was acting, there had to be at least one a Real Housewife fan on that plane. But even if it's not a Real Housewife fan, you mean to tell me Meredith acted the way that she acted in Whitney, messy ass, Heather, messy ass, didn't get none of this on camera? Y'all ain't got nothing to back up what y'all saying. Do I believe that Meredith cut up and act a goddamn fool? I believe Meredith did something. Now, to what degree of acting a goddamn fool, that's why I don't know. Was it to the point where let me say this, and I don't mean no disrespect in this, but I'm not necessarily buying Brittany rich white woman tears. I'm not. Because Brittany was already crying at the table. And Brittany already lives in the land of the Lulu anyways. Brittany the same one who don't fuck with her daughters over a nigga, over a man. That's one. That ain't got nothing to do with nothing, but I wanted to throw that in there. Brittany was crying at a table, at the table during breakfast, because she really has convinced herself that what she did was nice and with good intention by telling Meredith that her husband has a mistress, or she heard her husband has a mistress. So that lets me know that Brittany already operates, she's not attached to reality. So Brittany telling the story doesn't mean anything to me, and Brittany crying and hyperventilating doesn't mean anything to me either. Because I've seen you already kind of cry and over some shit that, quite frankly, you did start. So I don't know how much of it I believe. I do believe that Meredith did do something to Brittany. I do believe she was talking shit to Brittany. I do. Now, was she screaming and yelling and acting just a plum fool on a plane in the middle of the air? Okay? At the air, because Angie said it started at the airport. Y'all want me to believe that Meredith Marks, I know Meredith Marks is a rich white woman, but it's hard for me to really grasp if that lady cut up the way they are trying to say she cut up on a fucking airplane in 2025 or 2024, whenever they shot this. It really is hard for me to believe that she cut up to that degree, the way they're trying to paint the picture. Did she cuss that bitch out? Yes. Girl, did she tell her, did she probably lean over in the seat? Did she probably lean over? Because Brittany was sitting right in front of Lisa and Meredith. Do I believe that Lisa was sitting right there beside Meredith and telling Brittany, yeah, you fucked up? I do believe that. I do. Do I believe Lisa was like, yeah, you fucked up? Do I believe Meredith probably leaned over and told her, bitch, I'm gonna whoop your ass, hoe? I do. Do I believe Meredith was like, bitch, I'm gonna pop your ass, hoe? Do I believe Meredith was talking cash money shit? Yes. I do. But do I think she was just acting a plumb motherfucking fool? I don't know if I necessarily believe that. And if she did, why y'all ain't got no footages? That's my only thing. Y'all don't have no footages. Remember how Monique Samuels said she didn't have no footage of Michael, and we all thought that Monique was lying, but we didn't really need the footage anyways because we've seen Michael grab men asses and sexually assault them since season 1 of Real Housewives of Potomac. And we know that Monique has referred to herself as a perfect patty. There's no way that we didn't believe that Monique didn't have no motherfucking cameras in her basement. Okay? So all I'm saying is, girl, I don't know what that got to do with nothing, but all I'm saying is, girl, I just don't know if I necessarily believe that Meredith cut up like that. You ain't got no dirt on me. She told Mary, she said, well, I don't know what you think happened. Mary said, I don't think anything because I was there. Mary said, I don't think anything because I was there. You were asleep most of the time, not the entire time. Okay. Meredith cut up. I just don't know to what degree. Okay, we'll get back to that in a little bit. So Whitney and Bronwyn, baby. You know why I love this show? Because even though really and truly, Heather ain't got no storyline. She don't. I mean, she talked about her kids leaving and how she's going to be, I don't know if she said excited. I can't remember what she said. Remember, she talked about her kids. But for the most part, Heather is just like another Giselle. She just pushes her storylines along, right? But Heather is great at what she does. Giselle isn't, sorry. But she, outside of that, she ain't just like, she not bringing nothing. But I guess she doing a job. Girl, whatever. I feel like we get real shit out of some of these women. Like Mary getting on TV with her son talking about his drug addiction. Girl, a lot of black people ain't gonna just get on, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people, really. On the Real Housewives especially. So we have Bronwyn and Whitney. They meet up. When I tell you Bronwyn fly as hell when she was walking to that restaurant, baby. Bronwyn and Whitney, okay? Then we had, I'm sorry, then Whitney walked up. Whitney was fly too. And I think Bronwyn was actually surprised. She was like, oh, you look really cute. Girl, I think she was really surprised. I was surprised too because I think that's the best. I think that's the best I've ever seen Whitney look. Um, so hold up. Okay, they played a clip of Mary basically saying that Meredith was nudging Lisa's chair. I mean, Brittany's chair. Like I said, I do believe Meredith was probably like grabbing her chair, cussing her out. I just don't know if it was to the point where she was screaming so loud. Like I just don't know. I don't know. I just don't know because. But then, like I said, Mary is really co-signing it. That's the only thing that really has me conflicted because Mary is co-signing. Yes, I'm taking Mary's word as kind of like the gospel in this scenario. Like Mary just not gonna get on there and lie, and she ain't got no reason to lie no goddamn Meredith. But I don't know if it was to the like, was it loud enough for them to hear? I don't know. Anyways, so Lisa, I mean, so Whitney. I want to say that Whitney is a. When I say Miss Whitney is messy. Whitney just throws shit out there. Let me tell you what Whitney said. Whitney was like basically like, I don't know what it was fueled by. She was talking to Bronwyn. I don't know what it was fueled by. I don't know if it was fueled by alcohol, sleeping pills. I don't know, but it was pure rage. Now, Whitney, why the fuck would you? Brittany, why would you throw out there that Meredith could possibly be taking sleeping pills and drinking alcohol at the same time? I said, bitch, that's exactly why Meredith gonna cuss your ass out at the reunion, okay? And then Bronwyn, when I tell you, bitch, the way I gagged, Bronwyn says, well, apparently Todd and Meredith need a class on etiquette while being on a plane. When I think that Whitney knew the story. I just didn't think that. I think that Whitney didn't think that Bronwyn was going to. There's no way that Whitney. That Whitney didn't hear this story that Bronwyn was about to tell her. She basically tells Whitney that someone said that Todd was on a plane looking at photos of women on his phone, and she said she believes a woman because. Did she say it was a woman or a person? I can't remember if she said if it was a man or a woman, or non-binary. I don't know. She just said the person. So she said she believes the person because the person knew exactly where Todd was sitting, the flight that he was on. I said, come on. See, sometimes you just gotta be truthful. Sometimes, like, girl, you know what I'm saying? Like, why would somebody be lying on Todd when they know exactly where you were sitting on the plane? Because I saw your seat, and they knew exactly what flight you were on. Like, how would they know shit like that? I'm glad Bronwyn is not just like, oh, no, I don't believe it. And while she was telling the story, Whitney was like this. Because I don't think that when Bronwyn and Whitney were meeting up, I don't think that Whitney thought that the topic of conversation was going to be Bronwyn and Todd. I really think she just thought they was going to probably just talk about girl Meredith cutting up and acting a goddamn fool. So, of course, Whitney's sitting there just soaking the shit in. Girl, soaking it in. And then she basically says that if Todd said, I'd like to sleep with other people, you know, other women, we could try it or we could do it together. I'd try it at least once, bitch. I remember people used to say that women join the Real Housewives because they want to, if they don't have a career, right, they're going to use this as a launch into their career. If they can get on and be successful on the show, get a couple of seasons under their belt, you know, start some businesses, girl, that's their plan to leave their husbands. And I didn't necessarily believe that, then I was like, okay, maybe that is true. And I remember people saying that that's what Monique's plan was on Love and Marriage DC. And I remember them asking Monique that, and she was like, no. And then, girl, the next season, she filed for divorce. Well, not the next season, girl. She didn't come back the next season because she filed for divorce. So it was like, okay. And I remember Heather Dubrow coming out saying that she believes that women do join these shows because they want to eventually leave their husbands. I definitely believe that now, and I believe that Bronwyn is one of those women. I believe in my heart that Bronwyn's plan is to get the fuck up out of Dodge. I think that Gwen is legally grown. I mean, she's 18, but legally she's an adult. I think that Bronwyn has a plan. I do. And if I can get my black ass up to that mic on Sunday, that's going to be my question. Not to Bronwyn. My question is going to be based off of people believing, and one of those people is Heather Dubrow from the Real Housewives of Orange County. She believes that women join these shows, become a real housewife in order to start a career and eventually leave their husbands. And we've seen that to be true for some of the housewives. So my question is to Lisa, Heather, and Whitney. Do you believe that Bronwyn is one of those women who is using this platform to leave her husband based off what we've seen in her first and the current season? That's my motherfucking question. I'm not asking Bronwyn, because Bronwyn, of course, is going to say, no, like Brian was doing. No, bitch. No, you shut up. I want to ask the messy girls. I want Lisa, Whitney, and Heather to answer the question. We're going to get the motherfucking party started Sunday. Let me get my black ass up to that mic. Okay? We getting the motherfucking party started at the Salt Lake City reunion. Not the reunion. The panel. Watch. Girl. All right. So Whitney says, so Bronwyn continues to talk, and she says that she would rather be in a position where if Lisa said that Todd was kissing another woman, she could look Lisa in her face and basically said, oh, I know, I'm the one who picked her out. Bronwyn says that she wants to continue to be in a relationship with Todd, but she's okay with evolving with Todd if it means changing up things in their relationship. Whitney says that her and Justin are friends with people who live different lifestyles. I love when the girls frame stuff a certain way, but you know what they're trying to say. Girl, you friends with swingers and shit. And people in open marriages and poly relationships. You know, Whitney loved the gays. So she's friends with everybody, right? She says that her and Justin have been married for 15 years, together for 17. And she said that there was a time in her relationship with Justin, she thought it was over. She was like, well, it is what it is. It's done. It's over. And lights out, right? And then she starts to talk about how, you know, I'm wild and I'm free. And she said that her and Justin have had conversations before. Now, this is what Whitney started to confuse me. And I mentioned this earlier with the cousins. Whitney and Justin are in an open relationship. I think Whitney didn't realize how much she was, vomiting. I don't think she realized that she had diarrhea at the mouth. And she tried to clean it up at the end by saying, you know, once my kids are gone, then I may just do what I want to do. Girl, you already said what you was doing. Whitney, you just said at the table that you're wild and you're young, and she even used an example that if I'm out, let me see. She said if I go out for a night, who knows what the fuck will happen? That's what she said. If I go out for the night, who knows what the fuck will happen? She said it has to be an agreement. This is what she said. Listen. She said it has to be an agreement. That's one thing we've learned. We have to communicate. She says she doesn't want to start the rumor that she's in an open relationship. What I gathered from the conversation was that Whitney and Justin are in an open relationship, but she's just not comfortable yet calling it that. But it definitely sounds like what Whitney described, that Justin does his thing, she does her thing. It's about communication and agreeing to the rules that they have set in their relationship. For those who watched the episode, is that not what that bitch basically said? She said some of what I said, but that's what she said. And she said she's learned that from other couples. It's about the agreement and communication and basically not being disrespectful, staying at what you agreed to. She'll call Justin and let him know, hey, I'm out. I'm not going to make it home, but I'm going to be safe. What the fuck that sound like to you? Yeah. Bitch, I tell you I was scared. Bitch, I'm going to tell you when I was hollering. Well, when I tell I fucking love Braun. When Braun was at that table, she was like, Bitch, the way I must have screamed on that plane. Bitch. Anyways. And then she said Justin's my man. He's amazing. He's amazing. He's an amazing husband, but they're older. She said, I said, bitch. Girl, not that girl. She said, girl, they over here making Viagra smoothies. Shout out to Erica De Niro, TV baby. Girl, she basically said, Justin, she said, this is what she said. I'm telling you what the bitch said. She said, Justin's my man. He's an amazing husband. She said that she want to grow old with Justin. That's her partner, blah, 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 right? She said, but they're older than us. And it's a natural thing that's going to happen. I get, so I don't know what girl, I took it as though she was trying to say, girl, girl, I felt like she was trying to say, girl, I felt like Whitney was trying to say that Todd and Justin, especially Todd, is an old man, and my husband is getting older, and, it ain't working like it used to work sometimes. And sometimes you gotta do a little extra, and girl, I be tired. I'm tired of tugging, bobbing, and doing all. Girl, that's what I feel like Heather was. That's what I feel like she was trying to say. But like I said, girl, it's nothing to be ashamed of, girl. I'm sure I'm going to get to a point in life. It's just life. I'm going to be making Viagra smoothies too. You know what I'm saying? Girl, it is what it is. It's just a part of life. It's going to come a time in every man's life where, girl, it's not going to work like it used to work. Anyways, they basically want to be in a partnership with their husbands, but with an understanding. They are evolved enough. Can I say something, y'all? And I know this is just for me. This is not for I know everybody, it's not for everything. Everything is not for everybody. I don't think there's nothing wrong with open relationships. I don't. I don't believe that people are meant to be with one another, not be with one another, sleep with the same person for the rest of their life. I think that's some bullshit. I think that's some shit they got us to believe. Especially if you already been fucking. You ain't been fucking since you was 15, 16. You meet a man or a woman, and all of a sudden, girl, you the only person I'm going to sleep with for the rest of my life. That's why so many of these niggas out here, girl, they can't keep their dick in their pants. And some of the women, too. I just don't believe so. Now, do I believe that I will automatically enter into a relationship, in an open relationship? Probably not. But could I see me progressing to that eventually? If I still wanted to be with a person, yes. I could see me wanting to be with a man because I absolutely adore and love him, but I don't want to leave him and I don't want him to leave me, but I want to have sex with other people. I used to deal with this white man who was in an open relationship. And he told me the rules that they had was basically they can't bring nobody into their home. That's really what it was. Nobody is allowed in our home. Nobody in our home. If you want to go fuck somebody, you got to do it at their house. Ain't nobody's allowed in our sanctuary. That's it. So yeah. Anyways, but I get how other people it doesn't float everybody's boat. I get it. Anyways, Angie and Electra. Electra is Angie's daughter. I felt bad for Angie, but this is also Angie's fault too. Electra is just not really into Angie pushing her Greek heritage onto her. She doesn't care. She's like, girl, I don't care. You want to make everything Greek. My only thing is this. If she feels that way, it has to, I'm assuming it's due to Angie and Angie may have said this and I just don't remember. Angie may have said this. That's nothing that was a big part of your life. And now I think that since she cares about it, she expects her daughter to care about it. And I'm not trying to take up for Electra, but I am. But Electra is 13, 12. You know, girl, we was all 13. We don't give a fuck about nothing but what the fuck we care about. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm, like, you can't expect a 13-year-old for something that she's never been really introduced to, which is your fault, right? To then care about it because you care about it. Because the stuff she cares about, you know, is stuff that 13-year-olds care about. Maybe if that was a part of her life from the get-go, then maybe she would care about it. But you can't introduce this to her at her age, and because you want it to be Greek life around here, then think it's going to be that way with her. But I really enjoyed the conversation with Angie and her daughter. I love the fact that Angie allowed her daughter to feel the way that she felt, even though you could tell that Angie was like kind of hurt. But she was just like, okay, well, maybe in the future, basically like you'll care more. And she was like, yeah, maybe in the future. So yeah, I like the fact, I love the conversation. I just thought it was an honest conversation. You know what I like? I really like when I see parents allowing their kids to just have honest conversations with them and not be like, you better shut the fuck up, who you talking to? Like, I think that makes for a better relationship and a healthier relationship, and I think that would also make your kids feel like they can talk to you about anything, and you really should want to know what's going on with your children. I know sometimes you're like, I don't want to know. No, you should want to know what the fuck is going on with your children. You see what I'm saying? Anyways, so Heather and Lisa meet up. This is a review getting too long. We got to wrap this up. Yeah, we done. Heather and Lisa, they meet up. Long story short, Lisa gonna start crying. She almost started crying, but she kind of held back the tears. Heather is basically on Lisa's ass. The only thing I will say that Heather is taking a very concrete position with knowing what she knows, even though she will sleep most of the time. And that's the thing. Like, the way that y'all are trying to package this, girl, there's no way that Meredith cut up the way that Meredith cut up, and girl, y'all was asleep. Heather says she caught the tail end of it, but she's really basically taking Brittany's word as the gospel, and that's okay. But I just don't know if I necessarily believe that Meredith behaved the way that she behaved. I don't think Lisa is telling the truth. I do think Lisa was egging Meredith on. I do. And I do think she was talking cash money shit to Brittany too, like, yeah, you fucked up. Was it? You see what I'm saying? Like I could see Lisa doing that. I do believe Lisa did that. But I don't know. Anyway, where we gotta go. This review is too long. And girl, it's 12:07, girl. It's still early. It's early, girl. Let me see, girl. It's about to go down in the DMs. Girl, I'm so happy. I feel so responsible because part of the thing, I was like, I need to get this review out because, girl, it's been too long. So thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for supporting the channel. I apologize for being late, but I've just been trying to get the last minute shit together to come to Vegas, and it's just been hectic the last few days. But yeah, so hopefully once I get back to Houston, we can get back on track. Sometimes shit, but hopefully we can get back on track. But I'm gonna try my hardest to kind of get videos out while I'm here. But it's kind of hard because I'm gonna be over there at least for a few hours tomorrow. Well, more than a few hours, but yeah. And then I just don't know what's gonna happen, girl. You never know. What if I go out with somebody or meet people and we go out? I don't know. So I'm just gonna, but I'm gonna still try to get videos and stuff out. Anyways, all right, y'all. I'm gone. Y'all let me know what y'all think about Meredith. Yeah. And let me know what y'all think about Whitney. Because Whitney tried to clean that shit up at the end when she tried to make it seem like, oh, but if we ever get to that point. What you mean, bitch? It already sound like y'all already there. It don't sound like Bronwyn and Todd are there, but it definitely sounds like you and Justin are there. It sounds like you're in an open relationship. I wish people I think it's so dope if people just were honest and just stood in they shit. Like I was talking about this earlier about Nene and Greg. Nene and Greg were in an open relationship. She said this, we already had this conversation. Some people didn't know this. I didn't know some people didn't know this. Nene was on Lip Service, which is Angela Yee's podcast, one of Angela Yee's podcasts. And Nene Leakes said that her and Greg had an understanding that Greg she allowed Greg to go out and he could talk to any woman as long as the rule was he could not talk to any person who ran the same circles as Nene. You better go fuck with a bitch in Beverly Hills. You better fuck with one in Houston. You better fuck with one in Rio. You better fuck with one in London. But nobody who runs my same circles in Atlanta, right? He ended up trying to talk to a girl who worked for Nene. Girl. You getting a free pass for pussy and you still can't even do it. That's what I be saying. Y'all don't even be knowing how, you got a free pass for pussy and you still don't know what to do. You still moving in a grimy, trifling, disrespectful ass way. Because it's disrespectful as fuck for you to go, and now I'm gonna go ahead and say it, and try to fuck a bitch who Nene pay. And she's a sales associate at the store that Nene owns. It's not like, girl, they business partners. But yeah, I just wish that Nene would have brought that story to the Real Housewives of Atlanta, because I think it would have been a good story to tell. Because I really think there are more people out there, even though there are people out there who don't want to claim they are in an open relationship, but a lot of people are in open relationships. Girl, if you continue to take your man back after he cheats on you, girl, you're in an open relationship. Just say it. Just make it that way so you won't be so heartbroken and surprised when he cheats again. Just say, okay, this is what it is. But the problem is they won't allow you to do what you want to do. They can do what they want to do, but then you won't be allowed to do what you want to do. That's where you got the game fucked up. Because if you out here fucking niggas, I'm out here fucking niggas too. Be very clear. I wish I would be with a motherfucking nigga and he tell me he want to be in an open relationship and I agree to it, but he tell me, oh, but you can't do nothing. Nigga, you got the game fucked up. If you fucking niggas, I'm fucking niggas. Okay? Down. Anyways, I'm gone. I'll talk to y'all later. Have a good night. Bye, y'all.